What's up, gorgeous? Today's episode is an interview with my friend Lisa. I'm so excited to introduce you to her. We chatted up a storm, so it is a two-parter. We'll have our first episode and then our second episode 1 week apart. And I am just so excited for you to meet her. Lisa's story, embodies so many of the things that I love talking about on this podcast. Being willing to bet on yourself and taking messy action and just having the courage to take the leap and go for what you want in this life. So I feel like her journey in the past year or so is such a powerful example of how to break out of that mold that society tells us we're supposed to fit into and start living life for yourself and more on your own terms. And if you've been listening to the podcast, that's what I'm all about. And Lisa is just such a powerful example of so many of those concepts that I think are so important and that I love to talk about on the show. So I can't wait to introduce you to her. I think you're going to love her. So let's jump into it. Did you answer what got you to actually quit? Did I forget or did we get distracted?
I don't know if I could have just been this trail.
Very good at.
Yeah, I think it was it was a combination of a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
One, it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
Right. It was I was there for a while and I knew I probably should have left before then. There was a bunch of changes in leadership that did not agree with, and it was they were making changes and I was I can't support the things that are happening anymore, and it's kind of being forced into that. And then there were changes on my team that were happening that were directly affecting me, and I was I cannot work in this environment anymore. And so I was literally almost forced out, and it was God's way of just being
sometimes,
girl, it's time.
Sometimes that's what we need. I forget what the quote is, but it's something when the fear of staying where you are finally becomes less than the fear of the unknown. That's
something like that. But
change.
And it was one of those, it was it was this day and I had a visceral, physical reaction. And I was I cannot go back.
Yeah.
I'd come to a certain point in my healing process. And I knew that if I'd stayed, I would backtrack in my healing process. And that's what I knew.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
And I was I can't do it. Basically. I've come so far that I'm not willing to backtrack in this and compromise myself and
how powerful is that?
It was. I mean,
that's gonna undo my healing.
It will
undo my progress. I'm not doing that.
It will. I've come this far, and I literally had a visceral reaction in my body.
Wow. Yeah.
And I said, if I'm staying, I'm consciously deciding that I'm going against all this healing that I did.
Wow. That's powerful too, to recognize that as a decision.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the time we don't realize the choices that we do have.
Yeah. And I mean, for everyone, it's not that obvious. I mean, I think because if it were, they'd be well, obviously, right?
It's a very privileged, very nuanced conversation.
Correct. But also, I mean, there's also a lot of unknown, right? Quitting your job without a backup and not knowing what you're gonna do, right?
What contributed to you choosing to not jump into another job?
Okay. One, the job market.
Okay.
Thank you.
So is that people were hitting your jobs left and right? You were no, thank you.
Everyone's just hey, do you want to work here? And I'm no. No.
I want to test the universe.
No. Part of it was that, right, because I told you there was like about a 3-month gap between the time that I knew I was quitting and the time I actually quit. I could have definitely been looking for jobs in that time.
Yeah.
But right, like we all have a mental capacity if you're just like, how do I do this? How do I do it all in between? Like I want to be looking for something else, but I'm stuck in that. Like I get it. Yeah. Like you're exhausted. And I don't have a husband or kids or anything else, and I still was exhausted. And so I know that there are people who have all this other stuff going on, and I don't have all of that, and I wasn't in that place also. But no, so I get it. I could have been looking for another job. I specifically felt like I was not supposed to. I felt like, again, like we talked about in the first episode, that like I'm on this like intuitive journey. And so part of it was that like I'm following my intuition in it. I felt like there was supposed to be this period of rest very intentionally afterwards. And I think it was partly to recover from the last few years of never really taking time off, because it's always job to job to job to job to job to job to job, right? Like that's our culture, right? Is that you always just, you don't quit unless you have something else lined up. That's the culture that we live in. And partly that is just because it's what you have to do. It's the way the system's set up. And it sucks that it's that way. Seriously. And so it was kind of intentional. I am very fortunate that I am in the position that I was able to do that. But yeah, it was very intentional. It allowed me to kind of reset my body and like allowed my body to physically kind of recover from this like cortisol pumping through it. Seriously. Like allowed me to mentally reset and like process all of that stuff and kind of go through that. But then it's also like made way for all of this other journey to kind of happen, which has been very unexpected but delightful in a way. Just living life a little bit differently. But
I think that's so good, because like rest is so important, but like we don't integrate it into our culture at all.
No.
But it's like everywhere. Also, you work out, you need a rest. The seasons, like you have harvest and then you have like nothing growing. Like but not in America. Corporate culture. Go. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, that's what I was gonna say. It was like, I don't think that like, so for me, I didn't plan like, oh, I was gonna quit in October, but I think like God's timing, right? Like it's like, I don't think by accident that it happened in October.
It's like literally the seasons.
Correct. And then it was like I went into this like hibernation period. And it was like, it is like winter.
I love a hibernation.
You know? And so like, I don't think it's by accident. Like, I don't know what's next, but it's like, it's not spring yet. And so it's like, I'm still just hanging out and like doing my thing. And all my needs are still met. So it's okay. Like, it's fine.
I love how you talked about, there were a couple times when you're like, I probably should have quit. And you didn't. I want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
I want to know
how it remembers.
I'm curious, like, if in hindsight, those are like regrets, like when you say should, if you really feel like you would have been better off if you would have, or if you feel like those were like steps that you needed to be really sure about quitting when you did.
You're not ready till you're ready, right?
Right.
Everything happens for a reason, I think. So I think that the timing of like my year of me, everything, like, I don't know if I could have handled all of the change and like me quitting without a backup and everything. I mean, maybe I could have looked for a different job and started that. Maybe I would have not found anything. And it could have all just been like frustration, you know? I don't know. I didn't, so I can think about all of it, but it doesn't really matter, right? Like, it's not how it panned out. This is how it panned out. So, I mean, it's like I can look at that girl and say, like, hey, you didn't do that. It's okay. But like, look at us now.
Yeah.
Because I think we can think about and like maybe regret.
Right.
But we can't stay there.
Right.
Ever.
You could.
Some people do.
That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about.
But I don't.
Right.
Yeah. No, I am not like, oh man, I should have. No, like because sometimes I think about like my healing journey, right? And it was like, because like just with how free I got, and I had moments of like, oh my gosh, if I knew, I could have done this sooner, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but would you have been able to actually, like, were you mentally in a place where you could have actually gotten to this point? Could you have handled all the stuff that was actually required of you, like, to go through all of this stuff? Like, to handle all the stuff that you actually needed to do? Like, you had to live all this life to be able to do all this healing.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not ready until you're ready, and that's okay. I wasn't ready until I was ready.
Yeah. I think we don't give that credit enough of like, you have to become the person who's ready to take that step or who's ready to level up. Like,
that doesn't mean like you still don't do anything.
Right.
Because I was still in therapy for a long time before that moment.
That's important. Yeah.
And it was like, I was still trying all of the things.
Yeah.
And it's like, it wasn't until something in it clicked.
Yeah.
You still sometimes have to go through the motions.
Yeah.
Before something changes.
Well, because there's so many different like components, right? You're talking about like your healing and then like your mental headspace and like your capacity and like all these types of things. Like sometimes you have it's like a Rubik's Cube. You have like a couple things in place, but the other things aren't in place. So like, it's still not time yet. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing when like your circumstances don't look like what you want? It's like, do you just like give up? It's like, no. It's like
do what you can.
Yeah. Right. Just do what you can.
I love it. Hey, so we're always talking about our dreams and making progress towards our goals on this podcast. But what if you don't know where to start, right? Maybe you're so full of amazing ideas that you have a hard time narrowing it down and picking something to start with. Or maybe after years of not having a say, you don't even know what you like or what you want anymore. Either way, I got you, okay? I created a free course that's just for you. It's a 5-day training on how to find your focus. It's super easy because all you gotta do is you sign up and I'm gonna deliver a lesson to your inbox every day. The course is all about helping you hone in on what lights you up so that you can focus on one thing at a time and start making progress towards your dream. It's super easy to sign up. You can go to thefierceframework.myflowdesk.com/focus. I know it's kind of long. thefierceframework.myflowdesk, that's my FLO desk.com/focus. I've also got the link in the show notes, or you can always DM me at the F.I.E.R.C.E framework and I'll hook you up. So I love how you talked about your intuitive journey and the visceral reaction with the job. And I feel like that is like intuition, maybe not advanced mode, but that's definitely not like, I don't feel like, what am I trying to say? I feel like that is a result of practicing listening to your intuition. I don't feel like most of us are that in tune, like off the bat.
Yeah.
I would love to hear like, what are some things that helped you get to that point? Like, how did you practice listening to your intuition? Because I feel like it. What am I getting at? I feel like it's a practice. I know, right? Like, I'll let you work on your
answer. How do you practice?
Because so many of us are so out of touch because like that's how our culture works and that's how we're supposed to be. And like you said last time, the way we were raised, oftentimes like we're told to distrust ourselves and not listen to our intuition. And so when it's like, oh, just trust your gut, trust your intuition, like go ahead, do it. I think a lot of us don't know how.
Yeah, I think so many of us are afraid of being wrong. That we don't try anything.
Not me.
Not me though.
We're gonna edit this out. Yeah, tell my audience, will you?
Yeah.
Don't look at
me. But I mean, like, so many people won't try anything with the fear of, okay, well, what if I'm wrong? Okay, and
convicting.
Or that's like,
I'm panicking.
Holy shit.
I'm like, I mean, I know, but like,
yeah. Okay, and
yeah.
So if you are wrong, okay. If it's not like a life or death situation,
it's always a life or death situation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the way that you practice, right? Is sometimes you will get it wrong. But it's like sometimes you will get a gut instinct, like that's the best. I mean, intuition, gut instinct, a feeling. I don't know. I think women, it's stronger than men. Typically, they have a stronger feeling, but it's the best way to practice. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to do this. Okay, do it.
How do you build your trust in your instinct if you get it wrong, though?
Try again. Okay, you got it wrong. Forgive yourself.
Getting it wrong isn't like a sign that you're like...
You're human.
That your intuition is wrong or that you're like doing it wrong.
Are you not allowed to mess up in your life?
No, you're not. This is turning into a therapy session.
Like, are you not allowed to hold yourself with like grace and compassion? And
Ooh.
like, that was my whole like healing journey, was being able to offer like love and compassion to myself.
Yeah.
And say like, okay, like if your friend did something and they messed up, would you not be like, bro, it's fine, I don't care. Like, why would you not be able to offer that to yourself also? Like, people mess up. Like, you're human.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot expect perfection.
And then you basically like give your intuition permission to be wrong as an extension of yourself.
Well, how else are you going to learn to listen to it?
It's amazing.
If you are not like, it's a practice, right? So it's like, in order for you to like, it's like the first time you talk to someone on the phone, you don't know their voice.
Right.
But the more that you talk to them, the more you learn to recognize it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so it's not that your intuition is wrong or untrustworthy. It's that maybe there was a lack of communication or misunderstanding.
Right. So it's like.
That is something that I can like.
Different terms.
Yeah, because I'm like, your intuition is just wrong. You can't trust it.
She's like, I can't trust myself.
My trauma is showing. I know. This is embarrassing, but you know,
right. But
real
like,
and authentic. Shit show, as I promised. No, that is powerful because like I think that's like that's one of the gems I wanted to dig out, because it's like, how do you keep going though? Because like, if you're just starting to trust your intuition and it feels like this big leap, this big risk,
if you've never done it
and then
before,
it's wrong, you're like, what the fuck? Like, fuck this, you lied to me. Yeah. But like, that's not necessarily true if you're still learning that voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so good.
Listen, I'm wrong sometimes too. That's okay. She's lying. Don't listen to her. It's okay though. Like, as humans, we don't have to be perfect. However, this is a very contradictory statement, and it's you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Probably.
We don't have to be perfect, but our beings are perfect.
Yeah. I actually agree with that.
Okay. So we don't have to be perfect, but we are perfection.
I love that.
As are.
I have no idea how to explain that.
Yeah. Yes. Right. So we are perfection as we exist, as our being. But we don't have to be perfect.
That's amazing.
Just sit in that for a second. Like, so sometimes, like, I literally, like, when I get so caught up in my head, I literally will just recite, like, I'm love, I'm light, I'm perfect as I am to myself.
Love that. Yeah.
And so, like, if you need a reminder for yourself, like, if you get so caught up in, like, other thoughts, like, just start telling yourself that, because you are just reminding your being who they are.
Like, that ties into last time when you're like,
yeah,
multiple things are true, and so you just choose which truth you want to focus on.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that's why affirmations are so interesting.
Yes.
Because it's like you have to believe them.
That was something I did last year. We didn't talk about this yet. That was something in my year of me that I also did, was affirmations. And it was really hard for me at first because, like, I didn't believe them.
Yeah,
about
I
myself.
thought affirmations were stupid for the longest time.
I also did too. And I was like, okay, like, I don't believe these things. Like, how am I supposed to, like, say them or, like, speak them? Like, so it really was like going through the motions of, like, of saying them. But it was also like, I found like cheesy ones that were like, but then so I changed them into like, okay, what are things that, like, I want to be true about myself?
I love that. Yeah.
And so I kind of, like, made my own. And I found this one girl on TikTok that combined them with tapping. Which was so cool because I already did tapping with my therapist. Like, when I would, like, get really bad anxiety, we would do tapping, like, to calm down, like at the end of a session or something. And so this one girl, though, did affirmation with combination with tapping. And so I started doing that, and it was really cool. So that was neat. But yeah, I also didn't believe, like, I was like, affirmations are stupid. Like,
so it sounds like the tapping, huge. But then also,
because, like, I mean, like, we store energy in our bodies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so.
Hence yoga.
Yes. So, like, yoga, tapping, like, it's releasing energy.
Move your body.
Yeah. It's another thing, right? Like, when I was depressed,
move your body.
When I was depressed, people would be like, hey, exercise. And I was like, y'all are full of shit. And then, like, I started exercising in the year of me just because I was like, I want to move more. Like, not for, like, weight loss or anything, but, like, just to, like, actually just move my body more.
Which I feel like the intention makes a big difference too.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Because listening to the world, they're like, oh yeah, fat girls, whatever, you know, and I'm like, you know, but, like, had nothing to do with that. I was like, I just want to move my body, like, purely just for movement. And I started to feel better. And it was like, who knew all this science, right? About, like, just movement, right? Like, who knew they knew what they were talking about? But
walks in nature.
Yeah. Now, though, I love taking just walks, like, all the time. It's so great just being out in nature. But anyways, but yes, so, like, we store energy, though. Yeah. And so even, like, doing, like, the slow yoga and just stretching, like, there's energy, like, stored in there. So I don't know. It's all young stuff.
And bringing your body into, like, the healing and, like, into how you're taking care of yourself.
Well, even, like, I was so out of touch of my body too. Like, I think a lot of people are,
especially,
like,
women. I think especially fat women, because, like, we're taught to be.
Yeah. Which just sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. Yeah. Growing up and being told, like, your whole life that you fit in this category and you're not worthy of anything because of that. Like, says who? You? Like, okay, what? I'm gonna change my mind about that. And I give myself permission to change my mind about that. Yeah, so super powerful, all of that. But yeah, no, it was great to be able to fully feel in touch with my body again. I feel very grounded, and to be able, like my therapist would be like, where do you feel that emotion? At first she would ask that question, I'd be like, are you talking about? Like, I don't even know how to answer that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Feel it in my body.
Yeah.
Huh? But then, like,
because you're ADHD, so you don't know feelings were feelings.
Well, it was just like, well, what I used to do is just, like, stuff everything. Then I'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What
feelings?
I don't have any feelings.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrifying.
And now I feel every feeling.
Yes.
But it's okay.
It's because now you know how to metabolize it and let it go.
Now I know how to feel my feelings in a healthy way. Yeah, but now when someone's asked that, like I can actually understand, like, okay, no, I feel it in my chest, or I feel it here, or I feel it there, because I'm in touch with my body.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are. So it's wild. It's wild.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
You're such a gem.
You're a gem.
Thank you so much for sharing all these things. Like,
anything else? Like, let me rack my brain real quick.
That's the next question.
No. Was it?
I just love like the nitty gritty and the process. Like, I know I say this all the time, but like, I don't think we talk about it enough. We talk about like before and after, but like
we
the
do.
process.
I mean, it has been a process, and
I feel like you
is.
just shared like so much value about like how that works and how to do it and what it looks like. Okay. So I really appreciate
couple other.
Okay.
So like your words have power, like, right? So like we talked about like you have the power to create like your reality around you. So I truly think like, right, like you really do have like the power to create like life or death, right? Like positive, negative. Like, so I think like you can manifest things like by writing them down, but like you can also manifest shit by like speaking it. So like even like the way that you like talk about other people, like it's all energy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're putting energy out into the world by the way that you're speaking, by the way that you're thinking. And so it's like if you're choosing to like think positively or speak positively, like you're going to have more positive energy around you versus if you're going to choose to speak or think negatively.
Yeah.
Like that shit is actually very powerful. I also listen to, there's actually like frequency music. On Spotify.
Okay.
And so I listen to that also, which has been something that's been really interesting. So I'll do it like just like while I read or just as like background music. Which has been kind of fun. So it's another little process thing. But
I love it.
It I think. I don't know. That's
follow these steps.
I don't know.
You're just on the journey.
I am on the journey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to have everything figured out.
I'm not there yet. So she'll probably be like, here's part 5 and 6 and 8 and
probably
10.
I'm obsessed.
Probably. Let you know when I've made it. We'll be back on the podcast with She's Arrived.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else before we log out?
I don't think so. Do you have any other questions?
Actually, I don't think I do.
Oh, okay.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always so much fun. Thank you for giving me an excuse to drag her on and have another conversation. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep becoming fierce. Amazing, right? I love Lisa so much. Re-listening to that episode to edit it, I just felt like it was so powerful, and she shares so many gems, and I just love like how she's living out this story of moving from a place that you don't want to be at anymore and walking into a new season and a new place in your life and becoming a new person, kind of like taking off those layers and revealing like who you are. And so I hope her story encourages you and empowers you to take those next steps to get where you're trying to go in life, because as you can see, like with her, hearing about her journey and her transformation, like it is just so powerful to be willing to make that change and to take those steps to get where you want to go instead of staying stuck at where you've been. If you missed the other episode, make sure to check it out because Lisa's got so many amazing gems that she shared. And until next time, keep becoming fierce.